This animated network diagram shows a firewall successfully deflecting a malware payload. The target is protected. But look at the attacker's origin node on the left. It remains active, flashing, and completely unpunished. Technical controls like encryption and firewalls can block an intrusion, but code alone cannot cross a network boundary to arrest a threat actor. To prevent cyberspace from operating as a consequence-free environment, we have to apply human legal frameworks. Without active policies physically boxing in that attacker, criminals can repeatedly test technical defenses until they eventually break through. Managing these interventions requires a specific vocabulary. We rely on regulatory bodies to create the rules of the road. We use cybercrime investigation to trace malicious actions back to a human keyboard. And we depend on active enforcement and compliance monitoring to ensure those rules carry actual weight. This organizational chart shows how Malaysia structures these exact interventions. The national cybersecurity ecosystem stands on three primary pillars: the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission, or MCMC, the Royal Malaysia Police, known as PDRM, and the Ministry of Home Affairs. Your technical knowledge of cyber threats is incomplete if you do not understand the jurisdictional boundaries of the authorities tasked with managing them. This data pipeline diagram illustrates MCMC's position as a civil traffic controller. They regulate the communications industry and manage compliance for internet service providers. You can see data streams continuously routed through checkpoints, where MCMC monitors massive volumes of online content to enforce communication laws. Operating at this scale introduces immediate friction. When MCMC blocks illegal websites or filters harmful content, they have to carefully balance strict regulation against the preservation of freedom of speech. While MCMC manages civil compliance on the left side of this chart, the Royal Malaysia Police, or PDRM, populate the right. PDRM's mandate is active criminal enforcement. They transition the ecosystem from monitoring data to actively investigating cybercrimes and arresting suspects. For computer science professionals, PDRM is where digital forensics takes over. Their officers physically seize compromised hardware, extract digital evidence, and reverse engineer ransomware payloads to build actionable cases against specific criminal profiles. But investigations frequently hit a wall. When a forensic trail leads to a server hosted in another country, PDRM faces the severe difficulty of prosecuting cross-border threats. Local enforcement cannot automatically cross physical borders to reach foreign actors. MCMC can drop a malicious packet at the network level, but it takes PDRM to put handcuffs on the person who sent it. This is the Ministry of Home Affairs building. The ministry serves as the strategic brain guiding both of those agencies. Instead of conducting ground-level cyber investigations, they are responsible for national security policy and internal stability. Looking at this hierarchy diagram, the ministry sits at the apex. By developing comprehensive cybersecurity strategies, they push policy directives down to the operational units, ensuring MCMC and PDRM function as a coordinated front. Let's apply this to a real scenario. This network map shows a local university suffering a ransomware attack that steals student data, transmitting it out through a local ISP. Based on their jurisdictions, which agency steps in where? PDRM takes control of the compromised campus servers to extract forensic evidence and track the hackers. Simultaneously, MCMC works directly with the ISP node to ensure strict compliance with data communication laws during the incident. Resolving a crisis of that magnitude demands cross-agency cooperation, integrating digital forensics with civil regulatory power. This typographic layout highlights the persistent friction points in digital governance. Every technical intervention eventually collides with the limits of digital forensics, the barriers of cross-border jurisdictions, and the ongoing debate between strict regulation and online freedom. To summarize the Malaysian model, let's look at this matrix. The Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission handles regulation and content. The Royal Malaysia Police executes enforcement and forensics, and the Ministry of Home Affairs provides the overarching policy and coordination. The data shows that effective national cybersecurity governance requires three inputs: strong institutional bodies, tight interagency cooperation, and continuous adaptation to rapidly evolving threats. As you design network architectures, remember that you are not operating in a vacuum. Technical code and legal consequence are permanently intertwined, and you must